Hey, what's going on, guys? Today I am fully testing this Neato D7, being as that it's kind of a more expensive robot. I'm going to show you what I need to do to get it cleaned. I got to set it up to my phone and make sure Wi-Fi works. Got to clean out the bin, and then of course run a test that I do with most of the robots. Then once it passes all that, then I'm going to list it and it's good to go for sale. I might keep this one a little bit longer because I've never had a Neato D7. I believe this is one of their higher end ones, so I'll probably keep this one for a little while and do quite a few different tests with it. Because the quick test I did do, it did a really good job. So now I'm going to show you what it takes for me to clean these and get them up to par to be sold. Because I can't just sell them like this, and you'll see why once I flip it over. Especially this particular one. If you ever asked yourself, can the Neato handle hair? And how well it does to do with hair, you're going to find your answer in just a second. And that's why I got gloves and a bag. So pretty nasty, but I'm going to show you how to clean it out as well. I got one of those tools with a razor cutter, so it won't be that hard to clean out. It's just going to be gross and yeah, just nasty. So all right, so answer that question, how does it do with hair? Well, you tell me. That is an insane amount of hair stuck on those rollers. So I have this little box cutting type knife thingamajig, and I'm going to clean it out, and then I'll empty the bin, see if there's anything else that needs to be cleaned or that's messed up, and then I'm going to test it. So let's get on a glove. Yeah, I'm gonna do two just because there's so much hair. And this looks disgusting and dirty, which it is, but this is nothing compared to some of the robots I have out in the garage. Those, I'm gonna literally need a mask. That's how disgusting and dirty they are. I'm pretty sure one of them had dog poop on it. So that's gonna be fun. Someone had a run over dog poop and thought, oh, well, Amazon returns everything. And sure enough, I assume they sent it right back to Amazon for that reason. But, so basically you just get the hair in here and just pull it across and it cuts it. There you go. Anybody ready for dinner? So that's just the cutting part. Now I gotta pull it out. Gross. Other people's human hair. Just what I want to do on my Saturday evening. Okay, I think that's good enough for now. Since it's obviously going to be sold as used, it ain't gonna be perfect. Alright, so that's the fun part of ripping hair out, because customers aren't going to do it. I mean, yeah, the original owner isn't going to clean out their hair. They don't care. They just send it back, and it doesn't matter to them where it goes or what happens with it. Look at that, that's a lot of hair stuck in those rollers. Very gross. Let's check out the bin. So this is a different style. It's actually built into the lid itself. I'm sure this basically hairball was already in there. And then the rice is from that quick test I did. So you pinch that. It's a lot of dog hair too. Ugh. This part makes me want to wear a mask, but it's going to be quick. Right into my lungs, that is. All right. So then it just dumps out. Pretty good sized bin, I must say. That's going to hold a lot of material. It's so dusty and dirty. Yeah, I'm going to start wearing a mask when I clean these out. Who knows what the heck I'm breathing in. It's gross. All right, I'm just gonna leave that dirt in there for now until I actually want to sell it. Then I'll wipe it out at least. So that's the initial clean of the Neato D7. Definitely gross. Definitely something I'm gonna have to do a lot more times with all those robots I have out there. So, you know, you use a glove, you just throw this in the trash and it's done and over with. Not a big deal. Don't know what that number means, but whatever. And so we're gonna test this. I'm gonna throw down a bunch of rice and I guess those lentils since I still have some. This has such a big bin. I'm gonna put a decent amount, probably around an ounce, ounce and a half, because I did shrink this room. I got too much stuff behind me that I don't want to clean up, and so I kind of blocked it off, and we'll see how it does. I think it's going to do a very good job, though. I really do. I think this is going to be an impressive robot. But I could be wrong. One thing I did notice, and you might have in the previous video, this thing is extremely slow, which could be better. The slower it goes, the better it's going to clean, I would think. It's just going to take longer. So it shouldn't take that long to do this small area, but I want to see overall how it's going to do. But I predict quite well. All right, after cleaning that out, I do have the app connected, which was easy to do. I put down a bunch of white rice and lentils, quite a bit actually, because I'm gonna run this on its high power suction and see how it does. I just have a smaller area on the carpet here this time. So I have too much stuff in my house right now, and it's kind of a mess in here, and I don't feel like making this whole room available right now. But I think it's gonna do an excellent job. I've never used this other than a simple couple-minute test, and it did really good just for that test, so let's see how it does. I'm actually kind of excited to see how it does. I have a feeling it's gonna do quite well. All right, I'm gonna go and start it with the app. And since this is the first time, there's no map or anything. And the only options is basically to do a spot clean, manual mode, house mode, turbo, and then extra care. Gentle navigation, I guess it doesn't bump into things as hard maybe. I'm not really totally sure what that means. But I'm gonna do it on turbo. It's probably gonna be loud, but I think it's gonna do an excellent job. Here we go. Let me know if you guys ever thought about getting a Neato, and at the end of this video, let me know how you think it did for the job it did. So most LiDAR system robots do a perimeter sweep first, and then they go around and do the interior. See how slow it moves? That's much slower than the other robots. A little bit loud on high suction mode. Now I'm gonna let it run and do its thing, and then at the end we'll check out how much it picked up and what I think of it on its first initial test. one thing I just noticed while this was running, remember how I complained about the Roomba S9 on carpet, how the brush is useless? This brush is definitely struggling. It's spinning, but extremely slowly, and probably isn't doing much of anything, as you can see. So do you really need a brush that bad on carpet compared to a hard surface? Not as much. But some of the ones that spin really quick, I could see it, you know, flicking stuff in front of it even on carpet, so. Just wanted to point that out. This thing has great suction. I'm watching the pieces get sucked in before it even goes underneath where the roller is. It is finished cleaning. It just sent me an alert and an updated map for that small area. So pretty much dead on for what it cleaned. Let's see, it's actually like this. So it's here, came in this room, cleaned some, and then down the hall just a tiny bit. So very accurate, good map the first time that it went out. Cleaned for 11 minutes, 102 square feet. So let's see how it did. Overall. That was a ton of rice and lentils, probably about 1.5 to 2 ounces. I did get an alert on my app while it was running, and it said to empty the bin. So I guess that amount filled it up a lot quicker than I expected. Let's check it out. So there's definitely some pieces laying around, but overall, I'd say pretty good. One thing I do wish it did, and it would have got this perfectly if it did, was the way it cleaned, then came back around and done it this way. There might be a setting in there for me to do like a double clean or something. I'm not sure. I'm not that familiar with the Neato yet, but I will be. But yeah, another thing I noticed, it did poorly against the baseboards. I don't know if you noticed, but the brush on the side is very small. And some of the robots try to get back behind this thing. But that one didn't try at all, so it left pretty much everything there. And then there's way too much debris there. So on the first test, it's good and bad. This sucked up a ton of material. As you can see where it turned here, as it was turning, it either missed some or the bin was too full and it kind of just spilled out as it was turning, which is a possibility. Let's take a look at the bin. Oh, wow. Okay, I put down a lot more than I thought. But still, it's only about half the capacity of the bin. But when you lay it down like that, yeah, it still had plenty of room. But man, that's a lot of material. So this thing actually did pretty good. That was probably at least 2 ounces. That was definitely more than I did with the other test. So as far as the flooring itself, I think it did pretty dang good. The baseboards, though, I'm very concerned about because that is way too much stuff on the baseboards, especially right here. And with this being a square robot, it's supposed to be better in the corners than a typical round robot. This has a weird brush design. It is very small, and it's kind of pushed back a lot more than a standard robot. Usually they're way up here, and they come out a good 2 or 3 inches. So let me know what you guys thought about this clean job. It was a lot of material, and it sucked it up quite well, but it has its downfalls too. That was just the first test. Let me know down in the comments what other test you would like to see. We already know it's bad for hair, so we don't need to run that type of test. I could do I'm not sure. You guys tell me. I'd like to have some input from you guys. And then, like always, please like and subscribe. And I got tons and tons and tons of videos I'm going to be putting out over the next couple of weeks. Hit that notification bell and you'll be the first ones to see it. All right, that is going to be it for this video. Have an awesome day. Talk to you later.